Guys coming over, like Ronda Rousey did in Brock and all that. I mean, that's cool. And I think that's definitely going to happen. You're going to one day see Conor McGregor in the WWE. You are. I think that stuff is cool. But I mean, come on, bro. The last time he tried to do the takeover, what did that look like?
Yeah. So I enjoy the business conversation. Now we gotta, we kind of kayfabe it now and go into the brand per se. So can you see? And I actually had a conversation recently with our Ring of Honor star Shane Taylor about this. Could you see Vince McMahon book some type of UFC invasion of WWE? Because he likes to cash in on Conor McGregor and so forth. I can even see someone like an Amanda Nunes, like she's a huge moneymaker when it comes to UFC. Holly Holm was for a second, but she's not doing the best right now. She has some moments, but maybe a Ronda Rousey, Holly Holm type of. Do you see any of that when it comes to this merger now? Vince McMahon potentially having some type of angle with this.
God, I hope not. I really hope not. Now, guys coming over, like Ronda Rousey did in Brock and all that. I mean, that's cool. And I think that's definitely going to happen. You're going to one day see Conor McGregor in the WWE. You are. I think that stuff is cool. But I mean, come on, bro. The last time he tried to do the takeover, what did that look like?
Yeah. So the report that she was at least there for the first night. She was there on Saturday.
Okay. Yeah.
So, yeah. As far as why, I don't know why, but I mean, maybe she was there with her husband. But yeah. So with the with the brand, so you have UFC, basically advocates, UFC enthusiasts and defenders that would say in that particular situation, they would typically criticize WWE for being, fake, sports and all that. A lot of UFC enthusiasts criticize or critique WWE for being that. So, it's kind of like a gotcha in a sense with the, to those enthusiasts, because now we're working together as a merger. Do you think Vince McMahon pays attention to those critiques enough for him to try to kind of get a gotcha at the fans?
Chris, how long have we been talking about this now? The product has been god awful, and it doesn't matter because he's making his million dollars. Bro, listen, I will tell you this, bro. I don't care what anybody says. If you are an adult, like Ari, what's Ari's last name again?
Emanuel.
Bro, I guarantee you, if Ari Emanuel sat down and watched Raw, nobody can convince me that Ari Emanuel would say this is a good show. No, nobody, bro. But that's the thing, Chris.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter whether it's a good show or not. He sees the potential in the WWE. He grew a UFC 4 times over. He said we're going to use the same equation, the same ingredients. So that's how he's looking at the WWE. And really, bro, and this is what is so unfortunate for the fans. You and I have both been saying this. It's got nothing to do with what we're watching on TV on Monday nights.
For sure. I mean, like, and it's kind of like difficult to navigate that as, a fan. If you're like an enthusiast, if you're a fanatic when it comes to WWE and you want good stories and you want good angles, if you're investing yourself into a product, into a sport, you want the best out of it because you're spending your time buying, watching, investing even time into it. So you want the best product. But if the current product that's incredibly mediocre is producing the numbers that allows a 9 billion valuation to go up, an extra and make it 9.3. I mean, you really can't say too much about the business end from that
No.
standpoint. And to your point, it makes it make more sense that Ari Emanuel is not valuating the WWE based on what he sees on Mondays and Fridays.
Bro, do you know what the street value of the WWE was? They sold it for 9.3. You know what the street value was? The street value was actually 6.5 billion.
Yeah.
So he almost paid 3 billion ahead of that. Bro, the guy is convinced I'm gonna take this WWE model and I'm gonna slide it right into the UFC model. That's all he cares about. That
100%.
is it, bro.
So let's close with here. Let's close with this. Along those lines, say 5 years comes up. So 2028 comes around. He kind of looks back, looks at the lack of growth within the WWE, and they're spending a lot of time with, potentially pay-per-views coming back at that time. Of course, gate is still a huge, metric, and sponsorships, right? So those are typically three big metrics when it comes to product revenue growth. And so if he doesn't see a substantial growth in the fan base, because you can market all you want, and if people don't care, they just don't care unless you get sponsors to tell, to prove, okay, this is why you should care, and that's when you get the sponsorship money there. But if he's not seeing substantial growth like he has in the UFC, 5 years from now, he looks at this product, there's not substantial growth. Like SmackDown, there was promised that we're going to do a lot, and they really didn't do a lot on, basically from an objective standpoint, looking at all of it. Where does Ari Emanuel go from there as far as reevaluating what this merger looks like and Vince McMahon's role?
See, bro, that's the thing, Chris, because we have seen this for at least the last 10 years and more than that, because that's how long the product has been subpar.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, there's people and there's partners out there to make deals with based on the legacy of the WWF. That's who they're making their deals with. And bro, my God, bro, how many countries are out there that haven't even been tapped into yet? Bro, this Ari, bro, come on. When you're spending that kind of money, you are looking at that as money in the bank. And the WWE, bro, they haven't been selling what the product has been the last 20 years. They're selling their rich history, and they will continue to sell that rich history. So I don't think that's ever going to be an issue. But with that being said, bro, I don't see the audience growing. Because if Vince is still in charge, Vince is going to be Vince, and we know what kind of television show we're going to see. But I think there are so many partners out there, potential partners to do business with.
Along those lines, could we see, again, that 5-year evaluation, there's not substantial growth with viewer, addition, maybe viewer retention, and we've seen even viewer retention is, decreased. Although this year has been some increase of the, year to year. But just overall, we're at about 1.8 with Raw, about 2.3 with SmackDown. And that 1.8 is substantially lower than, years prior, comparatively speaking. If he doesn't see like a substantial bump, could we see, in your opinion, Ari, basically saying, okay, so now I have WWE, I'm owner of WWE. Vince McMahon, this model that you're bringing me is not working. I'm going to have to find another executive chairman to run this model. You think we'll ever see that if the numbers don't reflect the desired outcome?
I don't think you'd see that, bro. I think you could possibly see Endeavor sell it. I would see that before I saw them replacing Vince. And bro, let's be honest, bro. Here, let's really be honest. We really don't know how much longer Vince is going to even be around.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, he's 77. You know, bro. I mean, he's less than 3 years away from 80.
Yeah.
I mean, Ari is a lot younger than Vince.
He's in the early 60s. Yeah. He's
Yeah.
around your age. Yeah.
Yeah. So who knows? You know.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, we'll see how this unfolds in the coming weeks, months, and years. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, as always, this guy's Vince Russo. I'm Dr. Chris. This is Writing with Russo. Have a good night, everybody. Solo.